Welcome to America with an Accent, the last episode for 2019, the episode of fun. Yes, Omaha is located in the heart of America, but if you were at the Durham Museum a few weeks back, you, just like me, would have thought that the world was reduced into one building only. 45 organizations participated in the Holiday Cultural Festival, a tradition that, as Dawn Myron, the marketing and design manager for the museum, puts it, it is just another occasion to get to know better your neighbor. Happy New Year!
It is very lively here, yes. Well, tonight is the Durham Museum's annual Holiday Cultural Festival, and it is an annual event that brings folks together to represent different cultures, backgrounds, religions. It's a celebration of tradition as well as a celebration of our community.
How many organizations are participating?
Tonight we have about 45 organizations that are participating, and some of those organizations have been with us since the very beginning, and we also have brand new organizations that are participating.
So it is about their heritage, it's about the country where they immigrated from to the United States?
Yes, for many of them that is the case, that it's about their homeland, and they want to kind of share a little bit about that culture and the traditions that have been passed down from generation to generation.
I'm from Benin, West Africa.
When did you come to the United States?
I came to US in 2000 year. I am the founder of the African Culture Connection.
Is it your first year at the festival?
No. This is actually 6 or 7 years. We've been coming here for quite a long time.
And what is the thing that attracts people the most, that you receive questions the most?
It is just about the diversity, how different group of people come together to share the beauty of the culture.
Do they have questions for any particular item here?
Yeah, they have questions about the bags, where the bags come from, the drums, what kind of, what type of skin they use to make the drums. The bag is made out of Africa, Ghana. Yeah, Ghana. Yeah, they have a lot of questions, and I think it's pretty good for us to answer them so that they know.
Which organization do you represent or are with?
This is the Midsummer Scandinavian Festival that we have in June.
And you represent which country of Scandinavia?
Today I'm mostly Danish.
Actually, I'm representing two. I'm representing the Sons of Norway, but when I moved here from California, I am starting a Daughters of Norway because I was a national president of Daughters of Norway. And you don't have a lodge here, so I'm starting one. Daughters of Norway, the main thing is to carry on the heritage and the culture of the Norwegians.
How do you preserve the tradition? I see you it feels like I'm in Norway today.
This is my mother's bunad. They're usually passed down in the family, and so I was lucky enough to get my mother's. But they're very expensive. They run anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. Every region in Norway has a different bunad depending on the region. And so this one, though, is what they call the national costume. It's the hardanger, and it's because of the work that's on the cuffs and on the bottom. It's all hand done. You can't manufacture that.
And the tradition is that mom has it and passes it down?
Yes, they're passed down in the families. Or these days you can actually order a kit from Norway, and it comes here with Norwegian directions, which makes it very difficult for us American women.
By the way, do you know anything in Norwegian?
Yes, I know Tusen takk, which is 1,000 thanks. And the one that I love best is when you drop something on the floor, you make a mess, you say "Ufta."
The Durham Museum, which opened its doors in 1975, was originally the Union train station that brought newcomers into the area. Much like other cities, Omaha was established by immigrants 165 years ago. The waves of immigration in Nebraska and Omaha mirrored the national trend. First, settlers came mostly from Northern Europe, Germany, Scandinavian countries, Ireland. Later, Southern and Eastern Europeans arrived, with Poles, Italian, Greeks, Czechs, Slovaks, and Lithuanians settling in, and more recently, Latinos, Africans, Asians, and refugees.
Here at the museum, the Holiday Cultural Festival, it began in 1991, and at that time we actually had 5 organizations and we had 5 different cultural nights all in one week. And then in 1996, we actually joined those organizations together for one single night, and since then we've continued to grow.
Okay. So 1991, 2019, quite a long time.
Yeah, 28 years. This is a really popular event, and it's kind of neat that this particular event is all about tradition, and in a way it's become its own tradition for a lot of families here in the area.
Nellie Sodavichus McCallum, or Niola Sodavichus McCallum.
So you want my Lithuanian name and my English name? Margarita, nickname Margot, Sedaravičiūtė Hathaway.
Created in Lithuania, popped out in Germany.
I was born in Lithuania. My brother was born in Lithuania, but my youngest brother, when we ran to Germany, was born in Germany. And I went through Ellis Island. I was clutching my doll, and I looked up at the buildings, and I started crying. They're falling on me. I never seen buildings like that.
When we landed in Boston, we were sponsored by a farm family from South Dakota. Same thing happened. The representative came by and said, that all fell through, you're all going to Omaha for the stockyard. So our whole group of 30 or 40 families came on Union Pacific and landed here.
Which organization do you represent today?
The umbrella organization is Lithuanian American Community, Omaha Lithuanian American Community. But then specifically Omaha Lithuanian Women's Club right here.
And how big is the Lithuanian community here in Omaha?
I'd say maybe not very many, 2,000 to 3,000. When you come in the 50s, the next generation falls in love with a lot of other ethnics and Americans. They marry, they scatter. And that's really what happened with the community. Since the beginning, yes. And even before then, it was at the Civic Auditorium, which is gone now. And that was, in the 60s. So anytime they had an ethnic festival, wherever it was, we were always a part of it.
You remind me something. We actually won one year. We won, and guess what? It was my wedding gown they put on. It was showed a couple of times how they married, and the guy said that this is very old-fashioned, you know.
Today, there are a little over 44 million immigrants in the United States. Nebraska, although not a sought-after state like California, Texas, or New York, has almost 130,000 foreign-born residents. Available land, railroad, meatpacking brought 500,000 immigrants to the area in the 1920s only, marking the biggest demographic growth in Nebraska. In 60 years, its population went from about 30,000 in 1860 to about 1,296,000 in 1920. In 2019, almost a century after, Nebraska's population stands at about 1.8 million, 7% comprised of immigrants, who generate $65.5 million in business income. Were you born here or?
In Sweden.
You're Swedish.
Yeah.
Why are you here today?
Well, to represent the Midsummer Festival and to make some money. And I do knitting, see.
Is this your first time here in this festival?
Nay, I have been here coming at least 10 years.
What is the most popular item? What do people ask about?
They like these Swedish horses. See? Her name is Dala. And she has the Swedish colors. It's interesting. I almost want to speak Swedish to you. And I have been here for over 50 years. I remember.
Do you have any feedback What is the thing that attracts the visitors the most?
Well, there's so much going on that I think for each person it might be something a little bit different, but I think one of the common things is the ambiance. It's just such a festive, fun, and educational experience too. And so I think people come to learn a little bit about their neighbors, maybe have a greater appreciation for one another, and to celebrate not only our differences, but also our similarities as well.
I was actually born in Scotland in a town called Kirkcaldy, which is in Fife, on the east coast of Scotland.
When did you move here?
We moved here in 2002, but I married my husband who's American. We were in the military and doing a lot of traveling back in 1983.
And your daughter was born where now?
I was born in Florida. No.
Do you find it different? How different is American life for you?
Well, everything just seems so much bigger and wider. I think I can relate it better when I say that the first time I went home after being in America, it felt like everything shrunk. It was like very small, yeah. But I love the American way of life, and I don't think I would ever go back. Okay, so in Scotland we celebrate the last day of the year more. We celebrate the old year and the new year. We call it the old year.
Do you cook something very special for that night?
You know what we do? We have a tradition in Scotland that on the last day of the year you have to clean your house. And so we clean our house really good. And then on the first day of the year, New Year's Day, we have a very lavish meal. So usually it's steak pie, which is really good beef that's stewed, and then it's put into puff pastry, and we have, a lot of sides with that.
So you don't have a feast on the 31st, is that right? You celebrate on the 1st?
On the 1st.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think most Scottish people are out getting drunk on the old year's night.
Do you guys celebrate New Year there?
Yes, we do.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes, we do.
What is most popular, Christmas or New Year?
I would say the most popular holidays is the Christmas.
In Colombia, Christmas is the most important part of the celebrations. So it's for the family tradition to be together. And New Year is for the friends to be in the house with us and have a big party.
Of course, the New Year is the most important holiday in China. They have a lot of special meaning in China. Lots of people, when the New Year's begin, wherever you in the Chinese any place, you need to go back to your home to celebrate the New Year with your family.
According to Pew Research Institute, 1 in 7 people living in the U.S. was born in another country and was not a U.S. citizen at birth. In Nebraska, nearly 6% of population has at least one foreign-born parent. I'm going to ask the same question I asked my kids. Do you feel American or Scottish?
I feel half and half. I mean, I am the chief of the Scottish Society, thanks to her with her love of Scottish culture, obviously. I've dedicated myself to Scotland too, but I do feel half.
This is a Croy, and this is like an Americanized one. This is actually my friend's Croy that I'm borrowing right now, but yeah, I have another one over at home. That's mine.
And what is the banner?
This says Miss Nebraska Czech Slovak Queen 2019-2020.
How old are you, Eddie?
I'm 16.
What makes you feel Czech, or how do you manage to preserve the heritage?
Well, my grandpa's the one who really got me into it, and so we incorporate like Czech things into my everyday life, whether it's like we have a whole bunch of Czech decorations around my house, and we just do a whole bunch of Czech celebrations.
Do you feel that you are Czech?
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy like celebrating all the Czech heritage and traditions. So yeah.
Any favorite food?
I'm a big sucker for dumplings. Those are my favorite.
No, I feel American, but I'm so proud of, having the Norwegian background.
The Holiday Cultural Festival is not the only tradition at the Durham Museum. The tree has a story too. The search for it starts in August. The harvest from one of Omaha family yards is done in mid-November, and tree lighting at the end of the month. It is all a community effort. December is magical at the museum. I could hardly hold myself still under the joyful notes of the world's music heritage. Although a resident of Omaha for 15 years, it was my first festival attendance, and the Durham Museum gained 4 new visitors right there. I decided to make the Holiday Cultural Festival a tradition for my Russian Albanian American family.
Okay, Happy New Year!
Gott nytt år.
Happy Hogmanay.
Ena chen mi bo mi do khwe do.
新年快乐！
Feliz Año Nuevo y próspero año.
I'll tell you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Sushvantom kaledum geru now you matter.
Type, which means yes.
Καλή χρονιά from the Greek Orthodox community in Omaha, Nebraska, St. John the Baptist Greek Orthodox Church.
Opa.
Opa, for sure.